Hello, Candace. Thank you so much for making the time to speak with me today. I know you're very, very busy. As I can see, we're still at work. You are currently doing the 4 weeks to fit challenge, and I would like you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you found the 4 weeks to fit challenge.
All right. Well, I'm a 36-year-old mother of 2 kids that are 18 months apart. As anybody who's had kids really close together know that your body takes a major hit. Before I had kids, I was pretty active. I tried to eat healthy. I tried to work out as much as I could. I ran marathons. I ran half marathons. But then those kids came and my time went away.
Yeah.
Or so I thought. My time went away. I constantly put myself second, actually third, fourth after everybody else, after I met the needs of my children, my partner, my students, my colleagues, and then it was time for Candace. And it really wore me down. So I found that I've been following you for years on Instagram, even when you used to be an Olympia competitor. So like I followed you for years. I've followed your motherhood journey. And then I saw you were starting these challenges and I just was like, this is for me. She is so down to earth. She's so relatable. She knows it. She knows what we're going through, especially when you have children and trying to keep yourself as a priority as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's very true. I like that you said that it's just second nature of women and moms in general to be like, and whenever we do something for ourselves, it's almost like there is this little thing in our head that it starts to guilt trip us.
Yes.
It's like, should you really be doing that? And then you're like, stop it. Yes, you can, and you should stop it.
Absolutely. That guilt is real. Mom guilt is real.
Yep. I wanted to ask you, what was your biggest challenge or frustration in regards to training and nutrition before starting the challenge?
I was so focused on numbers. And when I would step on that scale and I wouldn't see it change, I focused just on the scale. And so if I didn't see those numbers go down or if I saw them go up, I would quit whatever I was doing.
Okay.
I would try to eat really well. I would exercise. And then, on a Saturday morning, I'd jump on that scale and see nothing had happened.
Okay.
But what I was noticing is I would eat really well during the week for my breakfast and my lunch and my afternoon snack. But when I would go home to do dinner, I would just overdo it. And on the weekends, there was no consistency whatsoever. So I was just like that Monday through Friday. I'm going to work out those days. I'm going to eat well. But Saturday and Sunday were free-for-alls. And I think I just couldn't balance the weekday to the weekends.
Okay.
And so I would just get so frustrated because I was uneducated of what I should be doing during that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for you, it was more like, correct me if I'm wrong, like attaching one issue was attaching your worth to the number on the scale.
Yes. I felt like a failure. If I saw that number go up, I'm like, why am I even doing this? Why am I wasting my time in the gym or eating well if I can't get those numbers to go down?
Yeah. No, I can totally see that. And that's what I joke saying that the scale is a mind beam because you're in school, so I'm not gonna say anything back. The scale can really mess up with your mind. And let me ask you a question. Before we jump in here, you said that you have worked with a trainer in the past. What was the difference? What was different about the 4 weeks to fit challenge compared to other fitness programs? In your case, a personal trainer you have tried in the past. What has been the main difference?
The biggest difference is it's tailored to you. It's based on what you need as a person. When I worked with a personal trainer, it was really, a basic what he used for all of his clients. Everybody got the same meal plan, the same, he may have adjusted calories for, women versus men, but for the most part, it was what I think they call them cookie cutter work diets. It's exactly what it was. And when I started calculating macros and using that calculator, I realized I needed a lot more calories than I actually had ever eaten before. And mainly because I'm a breastfeeding mom. And I think, that's what with the 4 weeks to fit challenge, I was like, oh, I can eat that little candy bar without feeling bad.
Yeah.
Like I can have that cookie with my daughter because she wants a cookie after dinner, as long as I can fit it in my macros and I have just one.
Yeah.
As I mean, this personal trainer told me that I couldn't eat the skins off of apples because that was the worst part of an apple. He also told me that all sugar was basically evil, and that's why I wasn't losing weight. So I went for years thinking, oh, sugar, whether it's natural occurring or added, is terrible for you.
Okay.
And now I found it that as long as I can stay under, a certain amount of added sugars, and I can still intake as much natural occurring sugars as I find, and I'm still losing weight because of it.
And just so we're so people who are watching are aware, they don't think that it's like, oh yeah, she's saying that, but she probably hasn't lost anything. Can you tell us how much you have lost so far in 3.5 weeks of the challenge?
In 3.5 weeks, I've already lost 11 pounds.
And quick question. Do you think that what you're doing now, like the way that, for example, because before you were in something that you were like, oh, you can eat this, you can eat that, you can do this. Do you think that what you're doing now, it's something that you can keep on doing?
Absolutely. Sustainability. I can keep up what I'm doing now. I would go back to that where I would do Monday to Friday and would eat those things that I wasn't supposed to be eating because they are bad for you. And then I would binge on them on the weekends. I mean, overeat on those. And like now I can spread them out through the week without that guilt or that thing in your mind saying, oh, you shouldn't eat this. It's going to go straight to your thighs, that kind of mentality.
And how did it make you feel whenever you saw, like, for example, whenever because that's something I talk a lot in the Q&A about the sustainability beating anything else, and that's what is going to give you results. How did it feel whenever you saw that no, you didn't have to cut, you didn't have to deprive yourself from having a cookie with your daughter? How did that feel?
Relief. Like I just felt like I can enjoy life again, and it was so relieving to know, you know what, I can enjoy these things without that guilt being inside of me.
That's amazing. And take us to the moment you realized the 4 weeks to fit challenge was working, and why did you feel like it was working?
I will say it was my first check-in, or that after our first week, and I was kind of like, wow, God, I'm eating a lot of food. I'm working out really hard. I mean, I was feeling better. I had more energy. I stepped on the scale and I had dropped 6 pounds in the first week. And I literally about fell over because I cannot remember. I mean, previously it would take me like 2 months, and perhaps it could be, just as hard as I was working, I was finally getting that good nutrition in, that I dropped 6 pounds. And I was like, this works. I still got to eat pizza. I remember eating pizza. I got a sliced pizza that week, and I was a little still with that guilt. I'm like, I really shouldn't be doing this. But I've said this before in our group that family dinners are super important to me. Yeah. Like I love sitting down with my family, and we all eat the same thing. My daughter eats the same thing we do. My partner and I eat the same thing. And I had that piece of pizza, didn't go over my macros that day, and I still had results. And I was like, this works. And it's, week after week after week, weigh in after weigh in after weigh in, measuring after measuring. I may have not lost 6 pounds in a week again. The numbers are still going down.
Yeah. And I actually remember whenever the challenge first started, that you were legit freaking out. Whenever you got your numbers, you're like, there is no way I'm going to lose weight eating this. Right. And I was like, just trust me, please trust me. And then I even brought in the other ladies who had breastfed before, done the challenge. And I was like, can you please tell her that it works?
It works. It really does.
Yeah, no. And can you tell us how many calories you're eating at the moment?
Right now, I'm at 2,400 calories.
Okay.
I had to boost it up. I had a little drop in my supply for a few days, but I added 100 calories per day and got up to 2,400, and I'm still losing the weight. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
This makes me so happy. And how did you I wanna know, how did you feel whenever you noticed the changes? Like, take us to the moment whenever you saw the number dropped, you saw that. And I remember you mentioning the group that you couldn't keep your pants up because the same pants that you took pictures in the beginning. Because you like literally have to pull them up so they can stay up. how did it feel?
So, like, to back up, like, right when we took our first pictures, I went to go put this outfit that I wear for our checkout is the same one I've used for years. And I'm like,
Okay.
oh, I'm going to use it again. And I remember putting it on, and I remember I just felt awful about myself. I was looking at myself in the mirror after my fiance took my pictures. I looked at them and I was like, I remember crying. I was like, oh my gosh, I know how bad I look, but this is really how bad I look. So then I was able to pull these pants up, like up, without them cutting off circulation to the top part of my body. And tears again, but the tears of excitement, because I was like, oh my gosh, these are spandex pants. They're supposed to be stretchy anyway, but now I can actually pull them up without having to yank them to the side and up and over. And you feel this feeling of accomplishment that you did this and you didn't have to starve yourself. I did
Yeah.
not ever once go hungry. Did I feel hungry? Yes, but I never once went hungry. And it's a sense of accomplishment, and you know that you are just a badass.
Oh, go for it, girl. Go for it.
You get this feeling of being a badass.
Yeah.
Like you can do anything.
Especially when you have tried things in the past that you felt like you were working so hard, and then it turns out that you got nothing from
Yes.
it. And then whenever you start another thing again, you're probably just like, oh, I'm just going to go for it and see what happens kind of stuff.
Yes. You get in that mindset. It's a defeating mindset.
Yeah.
You never, ever feel like you're going to accomplish something.
And you know what? And this is me talking from as a coach. This for me has been the biggest challenge with everybody who comes in the challenge. It's that I would say that 85 to 90% of the girls who come into the challenge, they come with the defeated mindset.
Yes. And I'll be honest, I was one of them that came in with kind of a skepticism and kind of a defeated, I've tried hundreds of things. I've already tried counting my macros. I didn't know how to calculate them correctly. But I was in that defeated kind of, well, we'll give it a try and see what happens.
Yeah, and it's probably because you're like, I'm going to sign up. It's only $39 or $49. Right. Yeah, here's my money. Worst comes to worst, I just lost $50. And that's kind of what I've noticed with a lot of the girls. And it's absolutely so rewarding for me as a coach to see that transition throughout the weeks of the whatever to like, oh my goodness, I can definitely do this.
Yes. And I mean, some of the workouts are very challenging. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. They're very challenging. They take a while. But when you get done, last night I posted that I did not want to work out last night. Did not. I wanted to get laundry done. But I knew if I took yesterday as a rest day, neither laundry or my workout would get done this week. And when I got done at 10:30 last night, I felt like on top of the world.
Yeah.
I felt so much better. I knew, and I mean, I think before the challenge, if I would have done a workout like that, I would have quit halfway through, because it's challenging. And
just for the record, you're doing the home workouts, right?
Yes.
It's funny. I love that you're saying this, because a lot of people have the mindset that home workouts are crap.
Oh my God. I was a little worried about the intensity. I will be honest.
And like most people are like, home workouts are crap. And I'm like, no, home workouts are crap whenever they are like the Jane Fonda kind of stuff.
Like the exercise video kind of thing.
Oh yeah, let's do it. 1, 2, 1, 2. No. You can really get a good workout from home.
You can. Truly. And I mean, there may be more distractions at home, especially if your children are awake, but it's so much easier. I always felt like the pressure of having to get to the gym. Like, I can't work out because I can't go to the gym. But now I can work out in my basement and get as good, if even better, workout in my basement at home.
Yeah, and I think that whenever you have been out of the gym for some time, and then once you get back to the gym, that's almost like another barrier that you put in front of you. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have to go to the gym, or I'm not comfortable being in the gym again, or people are going to be looking and judging. Not that you should give a shit, but
right. But you do, honestly, in your head, you do feel that.
These are things that come to your head. So I do think that I've done home workouts several times, especially with the 2 kids. Sometimes I couldn't get to the gym. I couldn't leave my kids in the childcare because they're sick.
Right, exactly.
So something needs to get done, and I pull out the bands and off I go.
Yeah. No, home workouts.
Yeah.
way better. I actually enjoy them more than the gym workouts.
Good.
But I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with the gym workouts. I used to be a big gym rat, but you can't drag kids to the gym.
Yeah. Like I'm very fortunate, and a lot of the girls are fortunate to have a gym that has childcare. But however, that's not the case for most people.
Right. My gym does not have childcare. I mean, I wish I don't even know if my children would stay in the childcare knowing my kids. The workouts are perfect.
Awesome. And just so we know, how many hours a week do you work?
How many hours a week do I work?
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Well, I would say on average 50. I'm a 5th grade teacher, so I leave my house at 7:10. I don't get home till about 5:36. So I'm gone a bulk of the day.
Okay, so you work 50 hours a day. You're breastfeeding.
Yep.
You have 2 kids.
Yep.
They're 18 months apart.
Yep. Both are under 2.
Both under 2, and you are finding the time to exercise. Okay. Yep. Just checking. I'm just checking the boxes.
Yes.
Quick question. How is your relationship with food now after everything that you have learned in the 4 weeks fit challenge?
I've mentioned this with you before, is I had such a terrible relationship with food. And it came from not educating myself or finding educated people about nutrition. Like the guy that told me that the skin on apples are bad for you. Like I had such a bad perception of food. Like everything that they would tell me isn't good for you, I'd be like, oh, I can't. There was a time it was probably about 6 years ago, I had lost 40 pounds. But I was surviving on 1,000 calories, no sugar, less than 100 grams of carbs a day, because in my mindset, those things were bad. Yeah, I lost the weight. It wasn't sustainable because I gained it all back plus some. And I literally I had a bad relationship with food. So I would just eat whatever I'd want because I'm like, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
But now, I feel more almost liberated.
Yeah.
That I can still have the choice in what I want to eat and eat what I want to eat as long as it fits, and that I don't have to go run for 50 minutes on the treadmill to burn off the cookie that I had at dinner with my daughter.
Yeah, because I think that whenever you're in that mindset, and this is coming from somebody who has been on that kind of mindset as well, from competing and stuff like that, is that you become exercising almost becomes a punishment for what you have eaten. So it takes away the pleasure for us who really enjoy working out. It takes away the pleasure, and it becomes some kind of punishment to make up for what you have eaten, which shouldn't be.
Right. That's exactly. I would on Mondays, I'd binge all weekend, and then on Mondays I would just sit there and I would run and run and run and run and run and run and run on that treadmill because I had to make up there was no way I was burning off all those calories I consumed in the weekend. Yeah. But then I started hating exercise. I viewed that physical going to the gym, I would dread going up, but I had to go to burn off those calories I had.
Yeah.
And then that's when I quit the gym because I'm like, I'm done. I just, no, I'll just sit at home and eat.
Yeah.
But now I just feel like it's almost like, it's like a treat that I get to exercise. It's my time. It's, it's me time. I get to put myself first, and it doesn't matter what I ate that day. I'm getting active.
Yeah.
I think breaking that cycle of food or exercise as punishment has probably been one of the greatest things for me as well. And also not using food or viewing food as being something that's terrible for me.
Yeah. And I think also, please correct me if I'm wrong, and please let me know if this is not the way you felt, because I feel like a lot of the things you're saying are resonating with me.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt. And that's exactly why I created the programs that I have created the way that I have created. Yes. Because I see a lot of challenges in 12 weeks and 4 weeks and 3 weeks and 2 weeks and 8 weeks and whatever the hell it is. Mm-hmm. Then you finish, and then they send you your way.
Yes.
And then you don't know what the hell you're supposed to do.
Right.
Because you haven't really learned anything. So for me, it was very, from a moral standpoint, for one, and two, from I understand, because I have been there, that it is very empowering to learn and to have control over your food.
Absolutely.
Not from a restrictive side point of view, but more from well, I can have, I don't know if you drink, but I like my glass of wine.
I miss my wine. I'm kind of excited for the
Oh
challenge.
yeah, you're breastfeeding.
I'm almost over too.
Yeah, I like my wine, and that's non-negotiable. My glass of wine a week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to negotiate that, because I think I deserve it.
Right.
I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not. That doesn't make me less fit than what I am. But like knowing that and having the empowerment to know that I can have that,
mm-hmm.
It's absolutely unreal. Would you feel that way as well?
I love having power over my food and not food having power over me.
I love that. I love that.
I do love that. I love the fact that I now have power. And I feel like a lot of people also, with the growing of social media in the last 10 years, they see all this stuff on social media and think, oh, I can do that. And then, it's, unless you actually follow somebody who's done the research or knows exactly what they're talking about like you do, I mean, the point is moot. I mean, it's just, yeah.
Let me ask you a question. This is going to be the last question. What would be your advice for somebody who is a bit on the fence, like skeptical about joining the challenge, or even like making some time for themselves because they feel defeated? What would be your advice from somebody who's been there and has been able to, in such a short period of time, pull yourself out of it and be such a upbeat person? Like, I just want to sit here and talk to you all day.
Do it. You have to put an investment in yourself. And this is probably one of the best investments you can. Do it from somebody who knows what it's like to be a mother, be busy. And I mean, the best thing I've done in the 4 weeks, I feel like a totally different person than what I was 4 weeks ago. I put myself as a priority first. Invest in yourself. You need to. I know it's really hard because you're kind of on that fence, like, oh, should I really do this? I mean, I could spend this money on somebody else, or I could spend this time with my kids. But your kids need a healthy mom. Your friends need a healthy friend. Your partner needs a healthy partner. And this is the only way. My partner says I'm in such a better mood than I have been in probably years.
That's amazing.
Do it. The investment in yourself is just do it. That's all I have to say is do it.
And just that you said that now, how did it feel whenever your husband, your fiance said that you were in a much better mood and you were a much better person to be around? How did it feel whenever he said that?
It made me really reflect on myself and think how I was before. And I'm like, I was grouchy. I self-pity, stuff like that. And I think I don't want my children, especially my daughter, seeing that.
Yeah.
And like, it was he goes, you're in such a better mood. You're so much easier to communicate with. And it was very reflective for me to see, like, this is what I needed to do. I needed to put myself first. And I did it in such a way that I didn't crash diet. I didn't restrict anything. I didn't spend hours and hours and hours working out, running on that treadmill.
Yeah.
No.
And most importantly, didn't use exercise as a punishment. It was like literally like a time for yourself to be by yourself and to think about yourself, and that's it.
Yes.
Awesome. Candace, this has been amazing, and honestly speaking, to women like yourself, it's what makes everything that I do worth it. So thank you very much for almost like showing me, because it can be discouraging sometimes, especially when I'm dealing with like all the people who are trying to sell bullshit out there.
Right.
It can be very discouraging for me to be like, why am I like trying to do this when there are all these people who are bigger than me creating this noise around things that are not sustainable.
Right.
And whenever I talk with people like yourself who has done something that I have created and tell me what you have just told me, it's almost like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. So thank you. You've had a big impact on my life in the short amount of time you've been here, and I'm looking forward to sticking with you for a while. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I hope you get to pack up and go home now. I am going to go home and get my babies. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the group.